Hi everyone. So today we're going to look at the start of a series that I was going to do on um, doors and wreaths. So we're going to look at a very simple idea of making a wreath to go on a door, and it doesn't have to be Christmas. So I'm going to start off with one that we're going to do, which is sort of an autumn design. Now, I will put a link to these printable doors that I bought off Etsy. But later on, as we go through, we're going to learn how to make our own door out of any scraps that you've got lying around at home. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do for our autumn one is I've got two simple rings of card which I've done. And I'm going to just go around a bit of hot glue because I want to make it a little bit stronger. Now, about this time of the year, there's lots of grasses and seed heads all around. So take a walk and see what you can find. I did a walk the other day and I came up with these, which I don't know what they're called, but they looked really interesting. So what I've done is if I take my um, wreath here, I can start to put my hot glue around. I'm just going to just attach a bit at a time all the way around. And lots of the seeds will fall off. That's okay, we're going to do a second ring around, so be careful with them. So where this one stops, I'm going to take the second one, take off that little bit there, and I'm going to join in the second one. I'm going to go around again, and I want to just make a nice layer of grasses all the way round. I've got this one here that was starting to fall apart, but I can still use it. And I just want to finish going round with that. I'm going to wait until that just goes off, and I'm going to trim the other bits off. Now you can see there's lots of seed heads coming off. That's fine. The more we put on, the more it will hold all those seed heads. Now, I decided when I looked in my stock of craft bits, I found some stamens, if I can bring them up. These are purple ones. And I thought they looked rather like lavender. So if I take this now, I'm going to put a little bit of glue, hot glue onto there, and just hold it for a moment. I'm just going to twist so that they all seal together. Now, when I've done that, if I look to the other end, they make another bunch at the other end. So we can put a little bit of hot glue with that and twist there to make another bunch. Okay, so when you're making these, think perhaps if you like doing doll's house miniatures and things, they're nice. You can put them on cards, or you can do lots of little bits with them. So I'm going to cut off these because they're now nicely glued, and so from the stamens, I get 2 little bunches for each one. I've done 8. So have a little look around and see what tiny things you have that you can use to go onto the wreaths. I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue and I'm going to settle it in around the edge. Let me move those back. I can come a bit nearer. So tend to go opposites. Going round in a circle. Going in between bunches. Oh, you can just adjust them as they dry. Right, so also I had some orangey stamens, which I thought they could look like corn. So let's take that off. And the same sort of thing, but this time I want to elongate them so they're a much longer bunch. They look much more like corn. So again, a little bit of hot glue. You can use wet glue, it will just take a bit longer. And when I've done it, I just twist. Hold it there for a few seconds. Go to the next side, put some glue onto there, and again twist. And that will automatically do them exactly the same as this end. Let those go off, and I'm going to prepare a few more, and we're going to finish doing around the wreath. Okay, so I finished going round with the purple and the yellowy stamens, and I found these tiny little bits of flowers which were on my false flowers, and I've just pulled off a few bits. So just taking a hot glue gun and I'm just nestling them. They're not symmetrical, just adding them to make them look more natural. So let's now take that and put that onto our door. So you could add lots of bits of stems that you can find around and just build up a natural wreath. Okay, so let's move that to one side. So don't just think Christmas, think autumn as well, especially coming up with the next couple of months. Okay, so this one I've done out of pipe cleaners. We'll show that one in a minute. This one I've done pipe cleaners, and I've also punched out some little holly leaves, and I've put those around the edge. They're just paper, but they do look really lovely. But the one I was going to show you today is a very simple one that you can do out of beads and pipe cleaners. Okay. So I'm going to take a white pipe cleaner and 2 green pipe cleaners. Let's move those out of the way. And first of all, I want to, sorry, I've gone out of shot, twist the bottoms together. And so I want 1 green, 1 white going up through the middle, and 1 green the other side. Now, I've got some tiny beads here. They're about, I think, 4 millimeters. I'm going to pick the red ones out because they'll show up better. And I'm going to put these so that the bead goes over the white pipe cleaner. Okay, and slide right down. This one's a little bit tough. Okay, normally, there we go. They slide right down with no problem. Okay, so I'm now going to take this bottom green and I'm going to fold it over the bead. I'm going to take this one and fold it underneath the bead, and then I'm going to give them 1 twist. Okay. So remember the way that you twisted it. Okay, so I'm going to take the next one. I had to turn the light off because it was shining on the desk. So try and find a hole in the bead. It has got one. Here we go. So press the bead on, take it down to the bottom, take this one nearest you, fold it over the top of the bead, and this one that's away from you, fold it towards you underneath. 1 twist, and it's completely locked in place. If I can bring it up nearer the camera. Okay, so we're going to go right the way along, and we're going to do 10 beads in a circle. You can make it whatever size you want, but it also depends on the size of your beads. So we'll be back in a minute, and I'm going to show you a quick way where we slide 10 beads onto our middle stick, and then it's very quick, just adding 1 at a time. Okay, so I've added a total of 10 beads. So I'm going to slide each one down into place, 1 over the top, 1 underneath, and then 1 twist. Slide another one down. The nearest one goes over the top. This one goes underneath, and this one twist. So you have to go all the way along, and it can be very quick. And I'm going to show you later on how to do this with much bigger beads to make a wreath that goes on the Christmas tree. Twist once, slide it down, 1 over the top, 1 underneath, and 1 twist. Slide it down, 1 over the top, 1 underneath, and 1 twist. 2 more, 1 over the top, 1 underneath. And I'm keeping my thumb on top of the bead so that that doesn't get buried underneath. all of those. That one's not poking through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it's a simple matter of taking that and just twisting like cleaners so it makes a nice, neat finish at the top. Use old scissors if you're going to do that, or pliers. So let's move that out of the way. There's the first one that I prepared. Here's the second one, and we're just going to pop a bow onto that bit. Okay, so if you're going to take a bow, I do what they call rabbit's ears. So I'll do one loop, and just a single knot, like you'd start your shoelace. Go, start again. And then you can adjust these to any size you want. And when you're happy with it, just give it a little tug and it will settle itself. So just cut those off at an angle. A little bit of hot glue on the back. And that goes over the join. So very simple, all your beads are all contained within the wreath. So let's move these to one side. And there's your wreath on the door. So later on the next video, we'll be looking at a little bit more intricate wreath with little leaves on it. Put a little bell onto it, and we've added some little berries to look like holly berries. So that's that one. And then we're going to also look at how to make a front door. Now this is just scraps from your scrap bag, and I've chosen a nice bright one with a shine to it to make it look like a really posh front door. But all it is cutting little bits. This was a tiny little charm that I had off an old card. I've put a number on there to make it the number of my front door, and some little bits of brad to make a door knocker, a door knob, and a piece of scrap gold to make it look like a letterbox. So that is the next video that we're going to do, and really simple to make a Christmas door card, or in fact a harvest wreath for door. Let's put that onto a basic door that shows up a lot better. So have a look at what you have around the house and garden, right, and have a go at making yourself a tiny wreath. And God bless you all. Enjoy.